welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, December 12, 2024. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. St. Vincent and the Grenadines has no cases of Oropouche virus, a transmissible disease currently affecting several countries in the region, including Barbados. However, infectious disease specialist Dr. Gerald Thompson is urging the public to stay on guard, as the disease could potentially reach SVG with the increase in international travel. He explained that the symptoms of Oropouche virus are similar to those of influenza or flu and may go undetected.
To distinguish between this and, let's say, the flu. But we know also that people may have nausea and vomiting, a bit of dizziness, a bit of pain behind their eye. The important thing is that there's no treatment. And even though death, the virus is rarely fatal, there's been 2 cases of death. You understand? And that's where we worry about this. Yes, there have been some reported cases in some of the other islands, but none so far. And with global travel, it is not unexpected that it could be here. It could eventually come here. But it's something that persons should not really panic about, but it's important that people engage in the usual public health things that they normally do.
Dr. Thompson emphasized that people often treat infections as ordinary illnesses, but urged them to be vigilant and adhere to warnings about potential risks.
That be on guard. When these public warnings go out, it's easy for people to say, oh, it's another one of these, I don't believe in this and so forth. But we should take heed from this. Certainly, if there's somebody who has this sudden onset of fever and severe headache, pain behind the eye, chills, and so muscle aches, joint pain, it could be that it is this virus or it could be something else. But irrespective of whether it is an influenza, whether it is dengue, or whether it's whatever the case might be, it's important that people take the necessary precautions. And if you're taking care of anybody who is sick, you take extra precautions so as you don't have to spread this to other persons as well.
Dr. Thompson added that while the disease is not a major cause for alarm, there have been 2 reported deaths attributed to the virus in the region.
In that regard, but it's not something that has a high propensity for death, but death certainly can occur. As a matter of fact, it can end up in hospitalization. There can be persons where the virus starts to affect the brain, and you start having a form of meningitis. These are some of the severe consequences of the virus. But the important thing is that people should remain well hydrated, wash hands, and be very careful if there's somebody going around sneezing and seeming sick. It may be important to avoid being around that person too.
Director of the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, Dr. Jabas Barbosa, has expressed concern over the increasing cases of transmissible diseases in the region, including dengue and now the Oropouche virus. Dr. Barbosa explained that the Oropouche virus, which is transmitted by infected midges or small flies and certain mosquito species, has seen a rise in cases over the past year, with more than 11,600 cases reported across 12 countries in the region. He emphasized that effective strategies are needed to control any potential outbreaks and mitigate their impacts.
Oropouche is a vector-borne virus that has historically been confined to the Amazon basin. But like dengue, cases are now being detected in new areas. This year, 12 countries and territories in the Americas have reported more than 11,600 cases of Oropouche. A majority of cases have occurred in Brazil, with more than 9,500 cases reported. So the Oropouche outbreak is one on a much smaller scale. It requires our attention with its increasing geographic spread. 2 deaths have been reported in Brazil, and the possibility of mother-to-child transmission, including fetal deaths and congenital anomalies, are being investigated. In 2024, 58 human cases have been reported in the United States and 1 in Canada. This contrasts with the 3 cases reported in the previous 2 years for the entire region. Animal cases have been reported in additional 17 countries since this outbreak began in 2021. With a moderate number of cases, most of whom have demonstrated occupational exposure to sick poultry and dairy cattle, the public health impact remains limited.
Changes are expected to be made at the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, Fisheries, Rural Transformation, and Labour in the new year. This was announced by Minister for Agriculture, Sabota Caesar, during a radio interview on Wednesday. Caesar explained that Budget 2025 will reflect these changes, as his ministry has taken into consideration the impacts of climate change, necessitating the need for proactive planning.
In my budget address for 2025, I will be speaking about the realignment of the delivery of services in the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, Fisheries, Rural Transformation, Industry and Labour. And it has to do mainly with the fact that we are going to anticipate some form of climate change event every year. After the hurricanes in the earlier period passing through the region, as ministers, we sat down and we said, well, we're not going to get any more disasters. But look at what happened for the last 3 weeks, the heavy rains, and the vegetable farmers were impacted in a very negative way.
Caesar added that the staff at his ministry has been working tirelessly and doubling up efforts during natural disasters. However, with dedicated staff now focused on addressing the impacts of climate change, the delivery of services at the ministry is expected to improve.
We want to ensure that in 2025, there is a cadre of persons who will be, their focus will be on administrative and technical recovery post a climatic event.
Okay.
That's the level that we have to take it. It's something that the scientists, they've said to us that we will be living with it, so you better be prepared for it. Or what is going to happen if you don't do some streamlining, you will not be able to implement your substantive budget on an annual basis, because you will be knocked off by these events and your entire staff will be sent in one direction. And I really want to thank the technicians at the Ministry of Agriculture.
Caesar's ministry is typically the most impacted by climate change throughout the year. Early in the year, the ministry deals with drought conditions, and later in the year, it faces the challenges of the hurricane season. The government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be represented at the CARICOM Japan ministerial meeting currently underway in Tokyo, Japan. Representing the state at this forum are the Honorable Frederick Stevenson, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Consumer Affairs, and the Minister, Councillor Elroy Wilson, who is based at the Embassy of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the Republic of China, Taiwan. The 8th CARICOM Japan ministerial meeting serves as a platform for dialogue and cooperation between Japan and the Caribbean community, CARICOM. Key issues under discussion include climate resilience, sustainable development, renewable energy, trade and investment, and the advancement of bilateral and multilateral partnerships. Notably, this year is the CARICOM Japan Friendship Year, commemorating the 30th anniversary of the first CARICOM Japan consultation. The Eastern Caribbean Group of Companies, ECGC, the OEC's largest exporter of flour, rice, and animal feeds, today welcomed the arrival of its largest grain vessel in 22 years at the Camden Park Port in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The impressive 600-foot-long vessel carrying a substantial cargo of wheat, corn, and soy is currently docked at the ECGC port, marking significant milestone in the company's commitment to regional food security. The vessel has a capacity of 38,000 metric tons of grain. The company stated that by securing larger shipments and sharing grain vessels with other producers in the region, it is further strengthening supply reliability and price stability for its flour and feed customers across the OECS. ECGC CEO J. Robert Cato was quoted in a news release saying that, quote, by leveraging larger vessels, we optimize our supply chain and ultimately contribute to consistent availability and affordable food prices for our customers. Sandy Bay Government School was named the overall winner of the Primary Schools Christmas Festival, which concluded today. In second place was Calico Government School, while Mariaqua Government School secured third place. For the special awards, the most outstanding instrumental performance went to Kingston Anglican School. The most outstanding choral speech was awarded to Dorchester Hill Government School, and the most outstanding drama was captured by Georgetown Government School. The most outstanding dance went to Greg's Government School. The most outstanding vocal ensemble was won by Brighton Methodist School, and the most outstanding vocal solo duet went to Mariaqua Government School. There were also winners in the 8 zones. Here is a snippet of the overall winner, Sandy Bay Government School, performing the vocal ensemble piece for Unto Us a Child is Born.
Unto us a child is born, for unto us a son is given, and his name shall be called, and his name shall be called. For unto us a child is born, for unto us a son is given, and his name shall be called, and his name shall be called. Wonderful Counselor, mighty God, wonderful Counselor, mighty God, everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace, the government shall be upon his.
And now here are the second and third place winners, both performing the test piece, O Come All Ye Faithful. This is the 8th year that the Sandy Bay Government School is winning the Primary Schools Christmas Festival. The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, the SVGTV, will host its annual Christmas caroling contest tomorrow night at the Central Police Station in Kingstown. Under the theme, It's 2024, we are caroling for sure. The caroling competition will feature 14 choirs, 7 senior choirs from divisions and departments within the SVGTV and its auxiliary force, and 7 junior choirs from police youth clubs. The Traffic Angels and the Spring Village Youth Club will return as defending champions in the senior and junior categories respectively. On the Cop Chat program last evening, committee member of the SVGTV caroling contest, Roselle Childs, outlined the guidelines for junior participants and the prizes to be won.
Groups competing, which would be the Sandy Bay Police Youth Club, the Stubbs Diamond Police Youth Club, the Calico Police Youth Club, the Kittles Police Youth Club, the Beckway Police Youth Club, the Layu Police Youth Club, who's the defending champions from last year, and the Spring Village. No, this Layu was 2022, and the last year was Spring Village Police Youth Club. So within this, the rules for the juniors would be that they would be singing one song, which is a traditional song, and they would be accompanied by the police band. The song would not be more than 6 minutes. If by chance they are supposed to go over the 6 minutes by less than 60 seconds, 5 points would be deducted. If they go over the 6 minutes by 60 seconds or more, 10 points would be deducted.
Yeah.
Also, prizes would be given. For the first place, they would be getting 450 EC dollars along with one trophy. Second place would be given $350 along with one trophy, and third place would be given $300 along with one trophy. And the best dressed choir would be getting a trophy. A consolation would be given to members who did not place in the first three, which is $100.
Ronaldo Francois, another committee member of the caroling contest, spoke on the guidelines for the senior choirs and the prizes to be won.
In the traditional, remain the same, with the exception that for the seniors, they would have an original Christmas speech. That speech is to be rendition between the traditional and the original carol, right? So for them now, right, in the original, they would have 12 minutes, right? But this song, however, right, it must be in lyrics relating to Christmas, Christmas activities, any melody and rhythm can be used. Whether the traditional parang, whether you want to go into a little more reggae, it's your choice. You just have to mix it in, right? For our seniors, the prizes would be $750 and one trophy for first place, $600 and one trophy for second place, $500 and one trophy for third place, and for those who don't meet the standard of first, second, and third, we were giving them $200.
The RSVGPF is urging everyone to join them for this joyful event.